Hey guys, welcome back to Pharaoh Iron and Customs. It's been a minute. And the crazy thing is I've actually tried to record videos and had all kinds of problems with microphones and cameras and yeah. So what we have going on here at Pharaoh Iron and Customs is just life. Valerie and I went on vacation. I'd actually recorded a video to post the week we were on vacation, and I was having problem with my old HD camera, and it quit working, or the charge port broke in it, and it wouldn't take a charge, so I can probably get a battery charger for it and extra batteries. And anyway, so then I decided I was going to just break out my 4K cameras and figure out how to make all the microphones and everything work, and ran into all kinds of problems with that. Got a setup that I'm using right now with a shotgun mic on this 4K camera, and well, if I get real close, the microphone's really boomy. I apologize for that. So it's actually a pretty good mic. The only thing is it's just not really good for the way I record. So I've ordered I broke down and ordered a GoPro. Because it seems to be what most of the people that I watch are using, GoPros. So that should be here in a couple of days. Other things that is going on, I have done some work and recorded some on this car, on the Volkswagen, where I'm changing the chassis. What I'm doing is I'm dropping the chassis rail and turning it on its side, which will give me 4 more inches of clearance in the floor. It's going to drop the chassis 2 inches down. I know most of the lowrider guys, that's not exactly what you want to go for, but it's what we're going to have to do, so I'll be able to drive the car, and that's going to be the important thing, is being able to drive the car, because this is, way more radical than, well, I'm not going to say more radical than a lowrider or a bagged pickup truck, mini truck, but it's, radically chopped, radically sectioned, everything's been changed on it. Anyway, we'll get into it in that video. All right, so I have done a little work around the shop. I'm going to flip y'all, well, actually going to pull y'all off of the camera. I still got a lot of cleaning up to do, but I got the hood hung up on the wall over there. And I did not record any of this, but I've started working on the rotary table, cleaning it up a little bit. It needs a lot more cleaning, but I think it's going to work out better than the Vice did and actually, work. And last week, Glenn and I had to end up putting an evaporator core in his Focus. We had put a condenser core on the channel. The video didn't do very well, so I just didn't record it. There are some really good videos out there on doing that job. If anybody's got a Focus, like I said, there are videos out there on doing that job. What else? Oh, after we got that done, I came home to mow the yard, blew up the motor in my mower. That's fun. So I got to put the motor back together. Hoping the parts will be here tomorrow. It's already Friday. So if they don't show up tomorrow, I won't get it put back together this weekend, so that means I'll have to do it during the week. But that'll give me some time tomorrow maybe to work on the Volkswagen. So I have bought a sheet of 20 gauge for the Volkswagen to do the sheet metal work on the outside. I'm going to do all the floors in 18 and do the outside in 20, because I feel I need to measure it. This is probably 20 or less on the sheet metal on this car. I mean, it is not 18. We have a couple of things I want to do. I don't know if y'all have noticed in the picture, when I was doing the section on this car, I cut the passenger side door. I made a bad measurement and cut it 2 inches out of it, more than what I need to be cut out of it. So I'm thinking about building maybe whole door skins, or maybe even up to where this point is here. The metal will flex less if we try to weld it closer to that crown area, I feel like, than it will right in the middle of the door. And worst case scenario, and a couple other things, I want to take the door handles out of it. I was looking at it today. It's always been consideration that there was going to be suicide doors on this car, and I was going to do it like Bob did his. I don't know if I showed y'all Bob's doors when we looked at his Volts rod when we went and looked at the mill, or actually it was when we went and bought the welder. It was that first video when we went to bought the welder, we looked at the Volts rod. He actually has taken, or his car, the hinges were moved from the back to the front, the factory hinges, not like using anything aftermarket, and the latches were moved from, well, the hinges were moved from the front to the back, and the latches were moved from the back to the front. So that was kind of always in the back of my mind what I wanted to do with the doors on this, but I think I'm going to shave the door handles and actually put poppers in it. I don't really trust them. I know that I've heard guys having problems with it, like when it gets cold or snow or whatever, and the doors freeze and the poppers won't open the doors. But, you know, got to live a little bit. So, let's see what else. Oh, I was actually going to talk to y'all about this in the video we made when we left, before the week we were on vacation. I have gotten two of the V-bore. I think these are 1 ton each, I believe. Block and tackle or chain fall, whatever y'all call it. I'm going to build some sort of gantry to lift bodies off the car, probably right outside the door of the shop. The width of the door so it really doesn't foul up getting in and out of the shop. But, you know, big enough to lift, you know, one of those Fords. And I think those two 1 ton, or they're not 1 ton, they're 1,000 pounds, so it's 1 ton. So I'm sure that'll lift the body of the car without a problem. There's no way that body without the doors on it is going to weigh, on the 50 is going to weigh a ton. And that's something we can upgrade down the road if we want to. So, what else on this? Kind of in the planning stages right now. I've always wanted to do a split in the back. If y'all don't know what a split is, a 48 to 52, I believe, Volkswagen Beetle, like the first generation, well, not the first generation Beetle, but the first generation after the war Beetle had a split rear window, kind of like a 40 Ford would. Guys, I got to turn this fan on. It is hot. It's not even that hot today. I think it's down, well, it was 94, I think, and they were saying felt like it was 105 or something like that. So we were talking about the split. This is 48 to 52 Volkswagen Beetle had a split rear window, and it's always been something I wanted to do. There's several different companies out there. The Glass Action makes a fiberglass one that will fit this car, where you put fiberglass in it. I'm not really crazy about bonding fiberglass straight to metal. It's not a good idea because steel expands at a different rate than fiberglass does. I mean, there's ways to do it, but I just, you know, I'd rather make that out of metal. And if I don't push myself to learn something new, you know, I've not really gained anything. You know, I don't feel like I've gained anything from swiping a credit card. I never have. So, of course, now, I mean, I'll buy tools to build stuff with, but I just don't feel like, you know, this is a challenge I want to do for myself. I also want to challenge myself to build these door skins, whatever, even if we go just to the body line, up to the belt line on it, or if we go higher than that. I don't think we're going to go higher than that. I think it's going to get too complicated. I don't know, maybe we'll try it. It's just sheet metal. When I bought that on the first, with tax, it was right at $71 for a 4x8 sheet of 20 gauge. which is more than what I paid for the 18 gauge just a few months ago. So evidently steel prices are back on the rise again. Let's see. But that's it, so far as I know. Sounds like the wife's home. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all later on.